from the 1800s. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information.
We know you value buying local, especially when it comes to your magical supplies. So if you're looking for grimoires, decks, jewelry, candles, or herbs that are locally sourced, then come on down to Magus Books and Herbs. Curated for your ritual, ceremonial, spiritual, and spellwork needs, we've got all the tools to make your working extra. So make that prosperity ritual one that keeps on giving by visiting us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis, or visit us online at magusbooks.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 63, then Tuesday sunshine with a high of 83. The annual sale is going on through July at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces in Minneapolis. Out of the ordinary products and services since 1977. Check out their store at Franklin and Riverside in Minneapolis or visit woodlandstoves.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Also, I hope everyone had a fantastic 4th of July and that you had a great weekend or whatever you have going on. I hope that it was good. I know that none of you, to be very honest, care about my saga with Facebook, but I do want to say that I did get that figured out finally. That's all done. I'm back on Facebook. I know that I might have mentioned it once or twice or 100 times, something like that. But, imagine being like thrusted away from, a way that you conduct business, your friends that are not in the state that you live in, all that stuff. It's really tough. So to be able to get it back, and I'll be honest, I don't know how it happened. I'm not asking any questions. I'm just being, okay? I'm just accepting it, and we're moving on and going on to a bright, beautiful future. The last time that I was on the air was we did the live broadcast from Pride. That was really cool. Thank you to everybody who took part, who watched, who was there at the event listening to us, and special thanks to my guest, Char Savoy, who was along and guest as well on there. I have something that's really exciting. I think it's exciting, at least, is that this week marks 1 year that I've been doing the show weeknights. And I've been, when Chad, who owns the station, came to me and he's just like, oh, let's do GhostBox 5 nights a week. And I thought, how am I going to figure out what to talk about 5 nights a week for paranormal and all this stuff? There's so much to talk about, but at the same time, 5 nights a week is very daunting. But once I got into it, I found that, first of all, this show for me is very addictive. And I when I wasn't on last week, took the week off for the 4th of July. It was very hard, actually, because I love doing the show so much. And also finding topics to talk about is not difficult. It's so easy to do. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to bring back a friend of mine who just so happened was my first guest when we moved to weeknights. And I've known her for a while. She's just a wealth of knowledge on so many things. And I was so excited that she agreed to come back. This is her 3rd time on the program since we've gone to a weeknight format, and I'm very excited. Moon Girl, Mistress of Paranormal, joining me again tonight. And Moon Girl, welcome to GhostBox Radio.
Thank you and happy anniversary! Yay!
Thank you so much. I'm not going to say I didn't think I'd make it there. I wondered, I mean, it's just like I said, it's kind of daunting to be like, okay, well, what are we going to do every single night of the week? But once you get into it, you start meeting really amazing people, such as yourself.
Thank you.
Where I think my job here is to learn along with everybody else. I think if I came into this as being like all knowing and I know just as much as you do or anything else, I don't think that would be fun. I look for topics that that I don't really know much about. Sometimes there's just stuff I just want to talk about, but like tonight's topic that we're going to be talking about the Chinese zodiac. And when you came on before the show, I was just very honest with you. I know nothing about it. But when you and I were talking about a month ago, and you're explaining why you think this would be a great conversation for the program, I couldn't agree more. And that was really exciting about it. So, first of all, thank you so much. And from the area that you live in, you're all safe and stuff?
Yes, lots of love to my Texans. Love Texas. We're good.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. So why don't we dive into this? You talk to me a bit about just kind of general thoughts about Chinese zodiac one before the program, and I'm like, you got to repeat this again because this is really good stuff. For a minute, I thought you thought we're on the air, to be perfectly honest, because you just kept like going, and I'm like, we're not live yet, right? You gotta do it all again. But it really goes to show also how much you are so into this. I mean, this is so much part of your life. It just shows. Can we talk a little bit about the Chinese zodiac and kind of about like just overall what it means to you?
Well, I mean, I definitely implement these things in my life. I don't just talk out of my butt out of it. I do use these things, and they do help me. And I would love to help people with this. And so to me, Chinese zodiacs and numerology kind of go hand in hand. They are two different animals, but I do implement both of them together. And like we talked about this in prior shows, like when I do different forms of divination, sometimes I will clarify with another divination because there is parallels to me. So I like just kind of, using a plethora of divinations and things just to kind of, read the energy or predict things, stuff like that. But as far as Chinese zodiacs, it's Eastern astrology, kind of like Western astrology, except with Western astrology, like, Aries, Gemini, Taurus, all those signs, we go by your month and the day you were born.
Okay.
And then it's, your whatever sign you are, like your January the 22nd. So we would be like, okay, you're a Aquarian. Yay, Team Aquas.
Right.
And we don't use your year. But with Eastern astrology, Chinese zodiac or Vietnamese zodiac signs, we would use your year. So you were born, if I can say it, I don't know if you want me to say it or not.
Yeah, I don't care.
1974. So we wouldn't use your month or your day of birth. We would just use the 1974, which makes you a tiger. So roar.
That's what I've always said. Yeah.
And then when you have each sign has two friends and two friend signs and an enemy sign, which is not the case with Western astrology. Zodiac signs. With astrology, yes, we will look at, placements in your astrology chart that will tell us some of your hidden enemies. But this is more like clear, like there's no mistaking, this is who your enemy is, watch out. So you have two friends, and you being a tiger, your two friends would be a horse. And these would be people, a horse and a dog, which we happen to be in Dragon Year, which is the dog's enemy year, but we'll get back into that in a bit. Okay. So these are people that you should definitely collaborate with or have a friendship or date, or these are people that may be on these days, even if it's not the people, these dates, these years, these are days for you to get something out there. Okay. Of course, everything's better when it's your year, the year of the tiger. That's when I would encourage you to do whatever it is you want to do. But you can also have good things happen to you, in your friends' years. But yes, these are definitely people that you can, get along with in your life or can be important in your life. So if you are born in, like, we'll start here, 1954, 1966, 1978, 1990, 02, 14, 26, 38, that's the horse's years. These will be good days for you. Okay. So, or good years for people you can talk to. So the next good year for you might be 2026, because even though it's not your year, it's a friend's year. So you still will have good things come your way. Of course, not every year is perfect, but the likelihood of it being a favorable year is higher. And then as far as the dog year, we'll start here. 1970, 1982, 1994, 06, 18, 30, and 42. So those are your friends. Okay. Now be good for you here. This is 1962, 1974, 1986, 1999, 2010, 22, and 34. So if you look back, maybe you think, okay, so did I have somewhat of a decent year those years? Did something happen good for me? Did things go my way? More than likely, there is good things that happen in your year, because everybody, when it's their year, most of the time, amazing things happen. This is a time where you should definitely put things out. Say if you are in the entertainment business and you want to put out a movie or whatever, if you can do it on your year, that would be amazing. If you want to start a new project, if you want to start a relationship, if you want to get married, if you want to have children, that would be the year to do it. Now, you can also do these things on your friends' years, okay? But what you cannot do is when it's your enemy year, which is the monkey. So it'd be people for years.
My enemy is the monkey.
Yes, your enemy is a monkey, and it could be literal, and it can also be the year. So one, literally stay away from monkeys, because something can happen with a monkey with you. Like, no joke. Like, you go to the zoo, maybe a monkey like throws poop at you, whatever it is. But stay away from, physically a monkey.
So if I'm at a zoo and one starts charging the glass barrier.
Yeah, run.
Wow. Now, does this have to do with the one we talked the last time about that deviation with bananas? Does that have anything to do with anything? Or?
They might just throw a banana at you.
Well, that's divination then, right?
Yes. They'll slowly peel the banana and force you to watch them eat it. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So if I mock them, no wonder why they don't want to be my friend. But okay. Yeah. Sorry, I took you off track. It's when the fact that I like to think I'm a friend to all animals. And it's sad that one of the smartest ones out there, maybe that's it. They just know me because they're so smart, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to be friends with this computer.
Well, this is with anything, like even dog lovers out there. If you are, say, you're born in the year of the dragon, which again is the enemy of the dog, and you may love animals, but say you get a dog, right? And of course you love it, you have a great connection, but things start kind of going down in your life. This may be a reason, believe it or not, because unfortunately you got a dog, and I mean, nobody wants to give their pets away, but yeah, that type of stuff. So it is important to know this, or you can put the dots together and wonder why things happened, or why they started going downhill for you.
Wow, it's really interesting, and I don't know. I just it's really hard, and it's interesting too how for me if I heard correctly for the tiger. Year of the Tiger, the next one is going to be in 2034. Did I hear that correctly?
For you, yes. 2034. That's the next time. So again, there's something you want to do. That would be the year to do it.
So when I'm 60, I'm 50 now, but when I'm 60, I should hold back until then.
Well, no, you can also do something on your friend's year. So the next one would be 2026, the horse year. There could also be the dog would be 2030.
Okay. All right.
But what I would not do is anything in what is this? 2028. Yeah, that might be because that's the year of the monkey, so it's your enemy year. So no, do not jump into a new relationship. Do not buy a home. Do not invest in something, Bitcoin, whatever, because the likelihood of things not working out for you are much higher. And yes, there is a chance of you having a decent year in your enemy year if you like lay low and you kind of keep your nose clean. And yes, you can also have a successful year in your enemy year. However, there will be repercussions down the line. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
So okay. So I could potentially have a decent year in 2028,
Yeah.
but it's going to come back and get me at some point.
If it's decent, maybe not. But if you have like a very successful or amazing year, then that's when it'll probably come back to you. Oh, say you started a business in your enemy year, right?
Yeah.
Things went amazing. That's awesome. But then maybe the next year or two, your business went downhill completely. You see what I'm saying? That type of stuff.
Yeah, sure. No, and so I'm because I'm and I think a lot of us probably who are listening are probably thinking back to, like, first of all, I know that most people probably don't know what their enemy year is, but I think to myself about when was the last year prior to now that was a year of the monkey, because I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to kind of think a little bit, like, did something happen that year that I could be like, yeah, that was kind of a crappy year,
I'm an ox, and 2021 was the year of the ox. We had a lot of Aquarian energy, Team Aqua, and it was a pretty darn good year for me. I know we had COVID. I am sorry, but even through COVID, it was still a pretty good year for me. Now, was it perfect? Absolutely not. There was some things towards the end that just were not good whatsoever. But for the majority, it was pretty good. So again, nothing's ever perfect. I'm not going to say, oh my God, it's the perfect year. You're going to, be a billionaire. But, more than likely, there'll be good things that happen in that year for you. And especially if you've been going through a funk, there should be, brighter days ahead in your year.
Well, I think it's really good to kind of even just think about like what you're saying, big decisions, because I think that might be something that really weighs in on that. Our decisions, like, now I know that theoretically with relationships, and I wouldn't know, but theoretically, you don't really have control over them in a sense, because they just happen and you kind of jump in and hope for the best. But also, if you're like thinking, you know what, I'm thinking about getting a new house, I'm thinking about making a big investment, but you don't necessarily have to, and you're kind of looking, to your point, right, that it's a little bit of like, why don't we wait? It just seems like maybe this isn't quite the right time.
Yes. And then also the person you date, it's shitty as hell. Sorry, it's really bad. But a lot of the times we are very much drawn to our enemy in the spouse department. That's the person, of course. It's like, of course, this is the person, my enemy, that I am very attracted to or very drawn to. So that's kind of the universe's way of to you. So the person you're most attracted to usually is your enemy sign, unfortunately. So that's kind of a lesson of the universe. This is bad for you, the big temptation. Are you like going to try it, or you already know better? Don't do that. Or you're like, you know what? F it, just break my heart. Let's do it.
Right, absolutely. Why don't we go ahead? Let's do this. Let's go ahead, take our first break. When we come back, we're going to continue talking about the Chinese zodiac. We're going to talk about numerology. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. All new stuff for me, at least. Hopefully it is for everyone out there, too. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
The Tilted Tiki, located in downtown Stillwater, helps you get your tropical tiki vibe on with a large selection of fantastic tasting tiki cocktails served in unique and fun glasses, a menu of delicious food ranging from small bites, craft tacos, sandwiches, and more. Plus, don't forget they have live music Wednesday through Saturday nights. Located in downtown Stillwater, the Tilted Tiki is your tropical relaxation restaurant in Minnesota. Visit thetiltedtiki.com. Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Before we get back to Moon Girl, I do want to just say really fast that, like I said, we did a lot of stuff over at Pride over on June 29th and June 30th. And one of the things that really was a game changer for us is that we decided to get some T-shirts made that I designed for the station, for the broadcast booth. And we went with a new sponsor of mine, Gritty Gear Company, who they specialize in making customized apparel for your group, for whatever. I know that they're doing them for first responders. They're doing them for a lot of other organizations, whether that be T-shirts, hats, whatever else. And I really just wanted to thank them so much. We gave them a lot to do in very little time, because you know how it goes when we do these things, that stuff is happening so quickly that we're just kind of coming up with the ideas and kind of throwing them at vendors, hoping that they can do what we ask them to do. And they did it. The quality of the T-shirts were phenomenal. If you look on Facebook and you see any pictures of us at the event, we have these wonderful blue shirts with the AM 950 logo on them. The quality of the shirts were amazing. They got them done before our deadline, and also from there, they helped Chad and I with everything down to sizes and everything else. It was truly a wonderful experience, and I know that there's people out there who are looking to get customized apparel made. Once pretty soon here, GhostBox Radio is going to be doing all of their work through Gritty Gear. If you want to see what they do, plus they also have pre-made shirts as well that like designed, and they're really fun. They're really great designs. Go to grittygearco.com. Once again, that's grittygearco.com. Check out the site. There's a lot of fun stuff there. Or if you want to get a big order or order some customized apparel, reach out to them. They are great to work with, and I highly recommend it. Please do so. We are talking with Moon Girl, Mistress of the Paranormal, and we are talking about all sorts of wonderful things, stuff that I'm still trying to get my my head around a little bit in terms of everything you're talking about. But it's so fascinating, and I love the fact that you know so much about this. And I think the thing that really sticks out to me is the fact that you know, what you talked about, getting in relationships with somebody from your enemy year. You know, I mean, you are somebody who, you know, not to say I don't take it seriously, but this is your life. This is what you do.
Yeah.
When you're getting into a relationship, are you just like, you know, what are you? Are you a monkey? Are you a dog? What are you? You know, is that a frustrating conversation, or how does that work?
You know what? I'm like, hey, so when's your birthday? What's the time of birth? Where were you born?
Exactly.
I need to do this. I need to look at your astrology chart.
There's only 3,000 things that I need to ask you before I know if you're date or not.
Even your blood type, because our blood type means different things too. If you want to go there, I mean, there's so many.
You eat bananas, you know. I mean,
yep, yeah. But I mean, there's so much stuff, and unfortunately, like I said, you're mostly drawn to the person that's, you know, born in your enemy year. But sometimes you can't help but avoid the person. Like, say your parents are, you know, your enemy year. That doesn't mean that you're going to have a horrible relationship with them. However, for some people, it can be like maybe there was an absent parent or abusive, or they just a lot of headbutting. It varies. You know, it could be something mundane to something severe. Maybe you were abandoned, or maybe you were orphaned, or this could just be that your parent really didn't talk to you that much, or, you know, that type of stuff. There wasn't too much communication. So there could be those things where you can't really avoid it. I mean, what are you going to do? It's your parents or your child, which could even be worse. Because if it is your child, I mean, as a parent, you know, you need to be a parent. And as it is, kids are, you know, defiant. So maybe not have the best relationship with your child. Again, same thing. So it's kind of hard. But if there's things that you do have control over, like the person you date, or, you know, friendships, you know, those are the ones that you can maybe focus more, because, you know, you need to focus on what you can control, not what you can't.
So, you know, and I think that's really interesting, actually, because when you're talking about like kids and parents and stuff, and maybe I'm reading too far into it, but, you know, we've heard it throughout all of time of like a parent who, and it's sad to say, just doesn't really get along with their kid. You know, it's like it's not even like a matter of that they bug them, or that there's certain people, even when they're related, they just don't get along. Yeah. And you kind of wonder, maybe there's something to be said with that, perhaps.
Yes. I mean, I have some friends, and I know their parents are in their enemy year. Now, that's not to say their parents a horrible person, but, you know, maybe the mother wasn't too mothery or connected as much. Maybe, you know, there was substance abuse, maybe whatever it is. It, you know, it doesn't have to be something really crazy, but it can be totally. So, I mean, unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is. So there is stuff to it, in other words. But like I said earlier, you know, as spouse, that's something you can kind of have control over. You know, if you're looking into getting it, I mean, if you're already with somebody and you're wondering why things aren't going right, because they're probably your enemy sign. So you can look into that. But yeah, as far as friendships too, if you want to maybe you've ever had a tight connection with somebody, and then this person out of the blue just kind of betrayed you, or their energy turned on you. They turned on you, or their energy was just changed. It might be because they were your enemy sign. And that's just kind of how it is. So I try to see, oh, okay, is this person mine? Like, for instance, I am an ox, and my enemy would be a goat. Okay, so people who are born in the year of goats. Now, this is where Western astrology comes in, because not everybody who is a goat is a Capricorn, but in Western astrology, a Capricorn represents a goat. So there's been some Capricorns where I'm like, oh God. I was like, oh, okay, but they were not born in my enemy year in Eastern astrology, but they do represent a goat. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of stuff.
That's a lot to pay attention to.
Yeah. So no dating caps for me.
So, and I'm trying to think, and I mean, of course, I'm turning this all into about me.
Well, it's your show.
It is, and it's you don't like it, then no, I'm just. I don't even know I'm going to end that sentence, because I hope you do like it. Monkey, what years again were monkeys in the 70s? What year, monkey year?
The monkeys would be a 1968.
Okay.
1980, 1992, 04, 16, 28, and 40. Now, these, you can try to look back and wonder, hey, were these years bad for me? Were they decent? Is there someone who's born in around these years that maybe we kind of butt heads, that type of stuff. So I'd encourage people to do that, so you can kind of like put the puzzle together for yourself. And you can also predict certain things with this too. Like, for instance, we are in the dragon year. Okay. The enemy of the dragon is the dog. Okay. And this is why California is taking hits this year. And I talked about this. And I even was published in Mistress, Mysterious Adventures about psychic predictions with a World's Largest Ghost, Maria. Why California was going to have like not the best year, because it was founded on a dog year. And again, we're in dragon year. And I said, the weather's going to be crazy. Expect more like either earthquakes or something like that. Although I don't think the big ones till the other 12 years from now. But this one, the random kind of weather stuff, maybe just unpredictable things happen there. Things declining, just random events or encounters, that type of stuff. And it's been crazy so far. And as far as like the Super Bowl, I'm not one. I don't know anything about sports. I don't like sports. I'm sorry. But like the Super Bowl thing that happened earlier, I mean, it was one of the team was California. The other team, I don't remember who it was, but it's no surprise that team didn't win, because they're in their enemy year. So for those who like to gamble, that could turn into a business for you guys. So yeah, I do expect more things to come with California. Again, whether it's random weather or just unfortunately maybe tragic events of any kind, or whatever the case may be. Hopefully not. Businesses going out of business, things like that. But if you are a dog, and most kids who like just graduated and they're young, like my son, he just turned 18 in January, and he just graduated, thank the gods, and he's 18. So most kids who just graduated are born in the dog year. Okay, so baby doggies, listen to Mama Moon. Do not, and I repeat, do not do anything questionable that can get you in trouble this year. Okay, at least this year, because the repercussions might be very, very hardcore for you. And then you're so young, that just it will build your whole life, and I've had this conversation with my son. I'm like, listen here, kid, not this year. Okay, don't make me a grandma, don't go to jail, don't do anything questionable, not this year. Okay, at least. So yeah.
That's really interesting. Now, Cynthia in the comments has a very interesting question, and I only have kind of saw this because I'm kind of looking up stuff other places. She asked, "What about metal rats?" And what I'm grabbing from that must be, I know that there seems to be fixed elements that are attached to some of these animal signs.
Well, here's the thing with what I'm giving you guys is kind of like a 101 kind of thing, because some of the names are different. Like, for instance, the cat can also represent the rabbit. You know, they have different names and stuff like that. And like the ox can be like the bull. It can be, you know, the cow. The rooster can be the chicken. You know, those type of things as well. So, but yes, there is elements attached to some of them too. But again, it all depends on your sign, what exactly we're asking. But if you are a rat, things I can tell you about rats is they can be very clever. So if you are a rat, you can be and you can tend to get away with a lot of things. So just saying, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Yeah.
It's really something, and I just don't know how you keep it all straight.
It's a lot. I'll tell you that, but it's a lot. But if you want to go even crazier, because I'm telling you, it's like one rabbit hole after another rabbit hole after another rabbit hole. Because you can do this with like vehicles as well. Say a car you really like, check out the year it was made. If it was in your enemy year, do not, and I repeat, do not purchase that car, because there could be repercussions. Like, one, you could have an accident, you could get really hurt, you could hurt somebody, or your car, you get a limit and it just doesn't work. You know, you have so much trouble with it, you wasted your money, that type of stuff. And if you want to go even crazier, like if you were trying to purchase a home, I mean, but realistically, you can go really crazy. So I try not to overthink, because I can overthink things. Like, I mean, obviously, if you don't really have much money and you need a place to stay and you find a cheap place, I mean, take it, right? But if it was founded or it was made, built, whatever, in an enemy year, you know, maybe things are not going to go that well for you. Whether with the place you purchased, or the vehicle you purchased, the house, you know, those kind of things. But then you can also implicate numerology with that as well. So every number means something. So you can also be like, okay, the address adds up to a number that maybe isn't the best for me, so I probably shouldn't get that place. Again, there's so many things that go into all of this. It's just kind of tiring sometimes.
Well, yeah. And so, I mean, we're going to go to break in a second, but before we go to break, I want to ask you personally, if you don't mind me asking, and you tell me, you know, none of my business, but how deep do you go? How deep dive do you go when you're making your own decisions?
Oh my gosh. I try to make the best educated decision I can. But again, there's some times where you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and there's only so much you can do. Yeah. Like I said, if you are in dire need for a place and you don't have that much money, it's like, you know, $500 a month or whatever. And, you know, everything else is like $3,000 a month. And it may be in your enemy year, maybe in a number that doesn't work out for you. But if you need the place, you're going to take it. So, you know, but I try to be careful, because then if you're a family, for instance, then, you know, you want to check out if it was in your husband or wife's enemy year, or your children's enemy year, you know, or your dog. So, I mean, you can really go nuts with this. So, you know, I don't want to make anybody crazy, but if things seem not to work out, you can, for one reason or another, dabble into your astrology, and you may at least know why, you know, things are happening.
Or even my monkey's enemy year. You didn't know I owned a monkey, did you? No, you don't.
No.
It only attacks me 5 times a day.
So only. So you like Michael Jackson with the monkey?
Yeah, right, exactly. Let's
Bobo? I forgot his name.
Yeah,
Bobo.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about numerology. So much more to talk to. What a fascinating conversation. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
Did you know that spiritual awakening is not all love and light? Surprise! Inner demons, ego deaths, and tower moments are on the horizon. But while life might hand you some harsh lessons, we've got the antidote to soothe your weary soul. Why not try a dragon's blood bath? Or schedule a Reiki aura repair? With books, herbs, talismans, candles, and more, we put the Shazam in shadow work. Visit Magus Books at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or magusbooks.com.
The Tilted Tiki, located in downtown Stillwater, helps you get your tropical tiki vibe on with a large selection of fantastic tasting tiki cocktails served in unique and fun glasses, a menu of delicious food ranging from small bites, craft tacos, sandwiches, and more. Plus, don't forget they have live music Wednesday through Saturday nights. Located in downtown Stillwater, the Tilted Tiki is your tropical relaxation restaurant in Minnesota. Visit thetiltedtiki.com. You know, we just ran a spot for Mega's Books, and I actually just saw Liz out at Convergence, which was this big convention, really big convention, this last weekend. She's doing well. Once again, if you have a chance, go to megasbooks.com, see what they have to offer. Her herbalism is pretty incredible. We did an episode about that, but if you need any sort of potion or anything, go check it out. We'll be having Liz back on to explain some more stuff very soon. Join me tomorrow on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We're going to have on author Heidi Hollis. She's going to be talking with us about shadow people, which funny enough, you know, Moon Girl, we talk about this. We talked about like how do I fill up 5 nights a week. We've never talked about shadow people on the show. I bet you and I could have a really good conversation about shadow people as well, couldn't we?
Like show.
Right. Well, and I mean, I could have a good conversation with you about anything. Thank you. You've been doing this, and I mean this in the best possible way. You've been doing this for a while, so yeah. You're very well versed in a lot of stuff, and this is the difference that someone like Moon Girl, this is your life. You've made this is your and this is you. And even though the question I asked you before the break maybe a little bit unfair about how much you put into those questions, but yet you are doing a lot of advising to people. You've advised me in the past, and about and our signs make a big part of that. You are very clear about certain areas to kind of stay away from, and I've been very grateful for that.
Well, you're welcome. And yes, I've been doing this for a long time. I was born a psychic medium, so I've been seeing and connecting with spirits since I was a child, little. But as far as divination work and astrology and all that, and paranormal investigating, I've been doing that since I was 12, and I'm almost 40. So it's been a hot minute. I have a few decades under my belt.
Right, and that's something that you have to I mean, anyone could learn about it. Anyone could have some sort of understanding. I have an understanding about this stuff, but to be able to actually be able to kind of, and I can imagine that you're laterally thinking about all these different things at once, right?
Well, here's the thing. My life path number is the number 7, and it's the number of genius. Just kidding. It really is. So that's a number, your life path number, talking about numerology that we're going into, that's important too. So not only is your astrology, but your life path number is too. It can tell you a lot about yourself and what you are meant to give to the world.
And numerology, you have a very strong connection with numerology, don't you?
I like it very much. It's just like anything else. I love astrology. I love numerology. But to me, I think Western astrology is the least accurate if you want to go there. I think Chinese astrology, Vietnamese astrology is a whole lot more accurate. And I think numerology is definitely, I mean, if I had to categorize it, like Western astrology is you crawling, Chinese Vietnamese is you running, and numerology is you flying, basically.
Okay.
I think it has more, there's more truth to it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it kind of really leads you to your life purpose. That's why it's your life number, your life path number.
Does that have anything to do? And I'm thinking in very linear terms. Okay, so I know that I'm, and which will maybe expose me as a complete idiot. But
No.
You're like, yeah, that's
no.
No, but the Chinese astrology. I mean, has that been around a lot longer?
Yes, definitely. And I mean, we're like babies compared to them. A lot of things started there. A lot of divination work has started there, and meditation and all that, good stuff. All these different divinations, all yoga, everything. We're the babies. We're barely catching on to things that have been going on forever.
Yeah.
So and I love learning more. And I always tell people, like, I will forever be a student of the universe. Yes, I may know things here and there, but to me, I feel like I will never stop learning. My mind's like a sponge. I will never, ever. And you jump from one rabbit hole to another rabbit hole to another. It never truly ends. And again, there's parallels between so many things that we can connect that.
That is great. Now, I do want to read this. Cynthia had said, I've been following Moon Girl since your last show with her. She is very inspirational, and love her spirit.
Well, love you. Thank you. Nice. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I mean, but that's it, is to be able to, are you still doing, because I haven't really paid attention to really a whole lot lately, just in general. Are you still doing any sort of Facebook lives or any sort of lives doing
I haven't done any in a hot minute, because I have like a lot of followers and my pages kept getting hacked. Taken down. So after a while, I was just like, I just kind of gave up on it. But I mean, I still have my social medias, and I'll pop in here and there, and I'll do like videos here and there. But it's kind of discouraging when your stuff keeps getting taken down. So I kind of took it as Spirit's way of saying there's something else better out there for you. So I'll post sporadically here and there. But I had to take a few breaks, because I was also out doing investigations and stuff like that, because that's another thing I do, paranormal investigations, and I love traveling. So any chance I get to do that, definitely I will. But yes, I still do that sometimes.
And folks, I do events up here, so let me know if you want me to work with Moon Girl to get her up here for an event or something, and y'all want to take part. Let us know, because you and I have talked about doing events together, just never really have happened as of yet, because I think it was the year of the monkey. I'm not quite sure.
It was that darn monkey.
The monkey actually advises me. He's actually upstairs. He's just like, no, Greg, not today. He wears a suit.
Yes. Does he like hold bananas and peels them in front of you and eats them?
Yeah, there's that too. But I mean, that's a whole different sort of mind game he's playing. Yeah, it's but we've talked about it, and yeah, we don't even talk about that on the show, that you are a paranormal investigator, that you've many years of experience doing that kind of work as well, and that you have gone all over the country doing different events as well, which I think it's something that really goes to show there's so many facets to you that we can't even get to them all, even on your third appearance.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, and I have some upcoming projects as well coming up. So besides me being, alone, I guess it's independent, but I just started a group too of only female Latina investigators, which is something that I've been wanting to do for the longest time, because I'm going to say this without due respect, but the majority of the paranormal community is gentlemen and Caucasian gentlemen and Caucasian women, and there's hardly any Latinas there, or Afro-Latinas or African-American women. We are not being represented at all. And I actually had an article written on me. Refinery 29 wrote it, and I spoke my truth, and I said, make sure you know where I'm from. I'm from South Texas, 956, the Rio Grande Valley, and I'm like, I'm here at the border, and there's we don't get much representation. So I wanted to bring a group of girls who are Latinas. It doesn't have to just be Mexican, but the Hondureñas, Dominicanas, Puerto Rico, whatever it is. So 2 other girls with me, and we're gonna come up. We have a group now. And we're planning events. Actually, we just planned one today that we'll be having towards down here, South Texas as well. So 2 other girls, like I said, and it's Latina Power, female investigators, and I'm really excited to start that new venture with them as well. And I will still be doing my own projects, and they'll still do their own, but we've made a group together.
Well, I think that's really important, because I do find, and it's not like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. I mean, it's not like when we do these things that we're looking to become, super famous or anything. But I do find
although there's some people that do, okay.
Well, that's just it. And I also find too that even to make any sort of way, it's really hard sometimes. It's really hard to even break through and have people notice you, because
Absolutely.
I think people in this field seem to always gravitate to what they know, and they don't want to give new blood a chance, so to speak. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe you see it differently. I don't know.
Oh, well, absolutely. I think people get comfortable with certain people and they just gravitate to them, and that's fine. But I'm here to add some flavor, okay, to my Latinos and my Latinas out there. So yeah, sparkling some flavor, some spices.
Absolutely, and that's
fried chicken here.
Well, and there's just a lot of different groups that you're right, that they don't get. They don't get any. There isn't a lot of representation in a lot of different areas, and that is important to be able to do. Also, because you want to do it, you want to be able to do it, and I think that's first and foremost of it. And I think that's super cool. When are you going to be able to talk about the event?
Well, we're gonna go do one. Fingers crossed. We're hoping around October, and then we will be doing a ticketed one, hopefully around March, fingers crossed again. But yes, it's very important for me to represent my fellow Latinas. That's something I'm very, very proud of, my culture, being Latina, and where I'm from, in the Rio Grande Valley. And again, we haven't been able to make a splash because we're so down here, so it's really important for me to bring us to the map and represent my people, my culture. And this is why I wanted to do that group. And I'm very, very proud of it. And I'm just hoping it's received well, because I want to represent my people. I really want to represent my culture. And yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I think it's going to be absolutely perfect. And there's so many cultures that I've been wanting to talk about onto the program, and part of it is like I want to find like the right people. I want to find like sort of like some of the myths and the mysteries of Hispanic culture when it comes to spirits and ghosts and stuff. And
and there's so much. And then there's like there's that. People want to talk about Santa Muerte. There's also Santa Muerto. There's also Yoruba, Santeria. I mean, there's so much that we can dabble into if you ever want to.
I do want to.
And of course, the Mexican folklore, there's so much to that as well. So these things are really important for me to get them out there for people to, hopefully embrace our culture, what we represent. Because I've been doing this forever. Like one of my grandmothers, she was a very well-known, respected witch from Veracruz. And then my other grandmother, she was from Victoria, Mexico. And a lot of this was us going to Mexico and, with relatives and stuff like that and learning things from there as well. So I'm more than happy to, share some of my knowledge with you guys.
I would love that. Now, how can people follow and get a hold of you?
You guys can follow all my socials. Hopefully they don't get taken down or hacked. Instagram, it's Moon Girl, Mistress of the Paranormal. There's also Moon Girl Paranormal and Moon Girl Horror, because I also dabble in acting and production when I get a chance to. And you can also reach me on Facebook, Moon Girl, Mistress of the Paranormal, TikTok, Moon Girl, Mistress of the Paranormal. There's also a lot of fake accounts of me, guys, so just be wary, and I never reach out to anybody. So if y'all want to book a reading or something, feel free to message me. I will never message you first. Like I said, yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Mistress of the Paranormal, the Clapper, which sounds like an STD, but I swear it's not. It's a social media. Moon Girl Paranormal. So yeah, you can find me on those, guys. And I really appreciate your support and love.
And Moon Girl said Moon Girl Horror. Okay.
Horror, not horror. Not
horror, because it didn't. I'm just gonna say the syllables did not come out quite right, and I'm trying to help you.
Close enough.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Okay. All right, folks.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta call this a night here. But Moon Girl, thank you so very much as always.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
We'll come back and talk about numerology because we didn't get to, but we will do it again sometime.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna be talking shadow people. We have Refined Divine on Wednesday. Everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.